Welcome back, guys. Cindy from San Antonio sent us this video on planting the seed and reaping the harvest. Check out this video.
Yeah,
That's how you multiply your money.
Wow.
See, most people never multiply their money because they treat their seed like it's the harvest.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that what you have in your hand is a seed. It's all a seed. You got to drop the seed so that you can multiply.
Yeah.
And what I mean is you drop the seed first into the policy.
Yeah.
Allow the seed to harvest and grow, and then it's going to create an abundance,
Yeah.
a lifestyle of abundance, and you don't have to live a scarcity lifestyle.
Kirby, I like when he said in the video, most people think that their seed is the harvest. I think that's the biggest point that stood out to me in the video. He had other good points. I think the video was kind of talking on like investing in maybe like a life insurance policy and getting interest off of that because he mentioned a policy. But in the terms of, just planting the seed into any kind of investment, I think he's absolutely correct. Most people, they get their paycheck, that's the seed, and they think that's the harvest, and they go and they blow it. Rather than taking that seed, planting it, and seeing it grow, and then spending the harvest rather than the seed. Kind of goes back to that point of invest your active income, live off of your passive income. But what are your thoughts on what he said?
First off, you took my favorite part of the video. But yeah, no, that right there was huge. I mean, you could just look on social media. I haven't had a social media page in a while, but one thing I do is just look and see when your family members or friends post that they got a new job. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's celebrating that you did something. That's just the beginning step. But like he said in the video, most people look at it as that is the harvest. The harvest is a job. No, that is the work you got to do to receive a seed. That's it. So when you get that seed, you need to plant it in a good investment vehicle, a good growth vehicle. I don't care what it is. It could be real estate, it could be business, it could be in the S&P 500 index. It could be you did mad research on a stock that you see that's very undervalued and you keep putting the money into there. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, people think that the end game is a job. No, only thing you have at that time is the ability to work for the next 40 hours. Anytime they can take that which you perceived harvest away. But they can't take your harvest away if you plant that income into an investment. The only thing that can destroy that harvest is you. Everybody loved the fact to just say, "Hey, I got a boss," or "Hey, I have to go into work," or that stuff it sounds good if you want to be broke forever. But the harvest is the key element of it. Like all the people that you admire, all the people that you see on social media, all the people that you see celebrities, you don't see the work that they do. Only thing you see is the harvest of what they did. And then you get upset thinking like, oh, well, they're making all this money. Yeah, because they sown a seed. Like one that I always stick to, I always talk about athletes, is nobody see the 10 to 12 to 15 hours that LeBron James spent on his body. Nobody see the practices. Only thing you do is see, oh, LeBron James got a new contract. LeBron James invested in this. LeBron James did that. LeBron James is 20 years in the game. We probably wake up 5 years from now, he's 25 years in the game. But the thing is he's taken what he has. His seed is his body, his athletic ability. LeBron James makes way more money outside the NBA than he does in the NBA. Why? Because he took the money from the NBA and did other things with it. People forget LeBron James used to have a sponsorship deal with McDonald's. LeBron James foregone the money that McDonald's was going to pay him, a job, and invested in his own company. Because with McDonald's or whatever food chains, you can't advertise it, you can't promote another food brand. So he foregone the money, the millions of dollars that McDonald's was going to pay him, and he invested in his own thing. Now he done created a pizza empire up there in the Ohio area. But y'all just still, and I'm saying y'all, I'm talking about the people, the viewers, people out here in the world that still wondering where's the disconnect. How do they have money and we don't? It's because, like he said in the video, y'all think the seed is the harvest. Like Alex, when I talk to you and then, or I talk to anybody and they say, "Oh yeah, I just found this deal. I just got under contract. Hey, I just closed the deal." And I say, "Okay, now the work about to start. Now the work is about to start." And they thinking that's the end game. No, that's when you about to start making it work. Because now you got to pull those levers. You got to, you got to upgrade. You got to, put the right tenants in place. You got to get the rents up to where you need them to be to so you can receive the harvest. People just happy just punching the clock 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Oh, I'll get a paycheck, ball till you fall. Uh, Play hard, work hard. That's the one I hate the most. And then they think that's it. The next thing you know, you hear about, oh, companies laying off. Oh man. Once you create the harvest, nobody can lay you off. But when y'all still playing around with y'all seeds like y'all did something, or playing around with y'all job like y'all did something, and then when they start laying people off, and I don't care what industry it is, they're laying them off in all different directions. And I think a big thing for 2025, and we've seen the numbers from the job market, they say the unemployment rate is at 4.1%. I think it's going to be a lot. Excuse me. I think it's going to be a lot more jobs. It's going to take a hit in 2025. Now, all those people that's bragging they working at the plant. Oh, I used to work for Google. When they start making all these people go back to the office, and they didn't set up shop in another state, it's going to be some tough decisions that's going to need to be made. But the question is are you 100% dependent on the money from a job, or are your lifestyle based on the residual income? Are you basing your lifestyle off the harvest that you made from the job? For most people in America or around the world, their lifestyle is predicated on them being allowed to work at a location. We got to get that fundamentally different shift to be like, okay, having a job is the begin point. Owning a job is the midpoint. Having income, if I'm asleep or not, that is the end point. That's the key. That is the key. That is what you got.
Yeah, and so one of the points that this made me think of is like I think if people can look at seeding or their job is the seed, right? The paychecks are the seeds, and then planting those seeds is the you reap the harvest. But one person that really did well at this was Steve Ballmer. And if people can get that point, right? So if people can understand that point, a promotion is not your harvest. A new position, you becoming even the CEO is not your harvest. And let's say Steve Ballmer's position. Steve Ballmer is the guy that is one of the ex-executives at Microsoft. And what Steve Ballmer did, Kirby, as you know, and you're the one that actually told me about him, was he took his whole paycheck and he bought Microsoft stock. And imagine that. I mean, you're using a CEO salary to buy company stock. So if you're able to, the more promotions you get, the more raises you get, and take those extra seeds. And so look at it that way. The more money you make at a job is the more seeds you're given, the more ability that you can plant and harvest something. I mean, I don't know if people watching this have ever planted a plant, but the first seed may not grow. You might plant it and you might get a little twig coming up and then it dies. You might plant it and nothing happens. But the more capital you have, the more seeds you have, gives you a better chance of finally harvesting something. So the more raises, the more promotions you get at work, use those seeds and put them into investment vehicles. And Steve Ballmer was one that came to mind. I thought this was like a perfect example because he had a CEO salary, lots of seeds, quote unquote, took his salary, invested it. Now he's a multi-billionaire because of that. So I thought that was a great example.
One correction on that, because people of course gonna say, of course, with all the money he make as a CEO, he can do that. Steve Ballmer didn't start off as a CEO. Steve Ballmer started off as middle management and then he worked his way up to the CEO level. But the whole time he was working his way up, he was putting money into Microsoft stock. Now, now I'm about to look this up just so I'm not crazy. All right, so I just wanted to make sure I was correct before I said this. All right, so Steve Ballmer worked from middle management up to the CEO ranks, but he kept buying Microsoft, kept buying Microsoft, kept buying Microsoft. Do you know today that Steve Ballmer's net worth is higher than the person who created Microsoft? Steve Ballmer net worth is at 120 billion. Bill Gates net worth is at 103 billion. So when we talk about that's the harvest, him going to buy the Clippers, that's the harvest. Putting his money to work to make more. Because trust me, Steve Ballmer didn't make 120 billion being the CEO of Microsoft. It's like Bill Gates didn't make 103 billion dollars being the creator of it. It was all the stock options and putting their money in the seed and diverting a lot of their salary to sowing seeds to create that harvest in the future. So that's the reality of it. Just because somebody created business, if you understand the direction of the business, understand, and Alex, that's why when we talk, I say find an ideal and go all in on it because you can end up your higher net worth, or you can end up owning more percentage than you ever thought. And then that the person who created could be end up selling off their position, and then you end up having a higher net worth. That's what Steve Ballmer did. Steve Ballmer didn't create nothing. He created nothing in Microsoft. But now look where he's at. Because he used his seed of a job, sold it for years upon years upon years upon years, and then he reaped the harvest now. So be mad at him all you want. But if you're not putting a nice percentage of your income towards a future endeavor that will produce you a greater return, then shame on you. But don't get mad at the people that's doing it. Don't get mad at the people who's doing it. Because you have the same opportunity. I don't care if you make $10 an hour. I don't care if you make $20 an hour. I don't care if you make $100,000 a year. I don't care if you make $500,000 a year. If you're not where you want to be at, it's because of you. It's because you taking this job as, oh, I made it. You're one bad email, one bad comment, you're one bad indiscretion, you one bad DUI, you one bad anything away from losing what you call a harvest. But I can tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain, that all the stuff that I do outside of a 9 to 5 job, the things that I can get fired for in a 9 to 5 job, I still won't lose my harvest. I just might not have a job no more, but the harvest is still there. The harvest is still kicking me off that money all the time.
Even if you get a DUI.
Yep. Even if you get DUI. So that's the thing is you got to understand what really is the seed and harvest. Get off social media. Oh man, I got a job. I want to see more people on these social media platforms like, oh man, I'm putting 20% into my retirement account. Hey, I'm saving up money so I can go buy an investment property. Hey, I'm seeing this business that I want to create, and I'm going to use all my energy, effort, and capital to make that happen. Because then I know you got it forever. But a job is just temporary. The job title you have is just temporary. You just a steward till the next person come along, or until you mess up and get fired, or the company downsides and they realize you expendable. That's that's all it is. You don't have to look far, high, and wide for people that got let go from jobs after they've been there 20, 30 years, thinking, oh, we're a family. They care about us. They won't never do that to us. They have no problem doing it. And everybody in your family's friends, everybody knows somebody who's been in situations like that. Don't let that be you.
That's it, guys. You got any questions or comments? Let us know down below. Don't forget to send us topics and videos to react to. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.